Hey, this is Trey Kay, host of West Virginia Public Broadcasting's podcast, Us and Them. 2 days after the 2024 presidential election, we brought together the Us and Them dinner party. Now, since the run-up of the 2020 election, we've gathered together 8 West Virginians, 4 conservative and 4 liberal, diverse in age, gender, and race, to gather together for a meal and talk about the issues that divide us. This year's gathering was our most honest and emotionally charged to date. Tensions ran high at the table, mirroring the atmosphere in households across the country. The emotions were still raw from the election, and we asked our guests to speak their minds.
I'd say with the culture wars, we talk about it, I would say there was obviously division during the Trump administration. There's always been divisions in our country, but they weren't as mainstream until you go into late 2021, early 2022, when they were brought up.
They were brought up?
I think, we talk about the big one that became an issue this election that I didn't see 4 years ago or 8 years ago was school curriculums. We never heard about, the rights of parents to check what's in their kids' schools. They didn't talk about that 4 years ago. They didn't have about that 8 years ago.
What are you referring to? Teaching the Bible in the classroom? Like, what are you talking about right now?
Well, felt a sneeze coming on, so I'm talking about, we didn't see that, it all really started with Governor DeSantis down in Florida with the Rights and Education Act, with this anti-LGBTQ curriculum. And I will say this as a Christian is, I don't care who 2 people or however many people choose to love. What they do in the bedroom is in the bedroom for a reason. What my concern is people saying that if I believe that, and I hold the value that marriage is a union of one man and one woman, that I am a bigot for saying that. I have never said I don't want gay people. I have never said I don't want gay people to exist or that they shouldn't do it. What they do in the bedroom is between them and their partner. It's not, my opinion, and it's not the public. It's not my position as a straight white Christian to say whether or not it's right for them to do that.
But can they hold hands? Can they show affection for each other in public without risking physical confrontation? Shouldn't we come down really hard on people who would harass them simply for loving each other? Should we come down really hard on that? And isn't that, we hear the Pope has really been considered a revolutionary religious leader because he has said, that's for God to decide, not us. But what about the people? What about the people here? Isn't that something that should they be protected with everything we have, just for holding hands, just for showing affection to one another? Shouldn't they be protected?
Sure.
So is there anything Christian-like about the platform that has that has these people being persecuted the way they
Where does it say it?
without anybody helping them?
Where does it say that in the platform?
Well, for that matter, no, I'm not saying it's in the platform. What I'm saying, it's in the Republican platform, because right now, of course, we have no Republican platform. What I'm saying is, but shouldn't they most passionately defend people who are harassed simply for who they love? And who they love in public, not just in the bedroom. You don't keep, most of us don't keep our affections for our spouses or significant others in the bedroom. We hold hands. We might kiss when we go out. Shouldn't everybody be able to do that without risk of being yelled at, or worse yet, physically accosted?
I agree with that statement.
Lexi, you were wanting to get in here. You were commenting there.
Yeah. I don't even know anymore.
I think it's really insidious to say, I don't have a problem with it, when you know that the people that you have aligned with do and are going to do things in order to restrict the rights of those. That's what Elliot's getting at, is that people are going to look at restricting the rights of people who love the same people, love people of the same sex, people who decide they want to present as a gender different from the one that they said that they were born in. And that while you don't mind it, you're okay with the policies. I think the reason why a lot of people are hurting, I talked to a couple of my friends yesterday, and I realized when I was on the third friend that everybody that I called was queer. All of my girlfriends that I called yesterday were queer.
After the
After
election.
the election, yeah. So like, was it, okay, so when was the election? So Wednesday, yeah.
Well, you found out on Wednesday.
Yeah, we found out on Wednesday. So yesterday, I called my girlfriends, and on the third girlfriend, I was like, wait a minute. Because such and such was just talking about she's afraid of camps, and such was talking about how her wife has dual citizenship, and such was, and I realized that the people that I called were women of color who were queer and white women who were queer, that those were the friends who I called to say, I love you, I'm standing by you, whatever happens, we in this together, you go down, I go down, it is what it is, you know, that type of thing. It was because of my proximity to my husband, I have more privilege than women who are queer. Okay, I don't have more privilege than you, I don't have more privilege than Elliot, but because I am a married black woman, I have more privilege than them. And so I use my little bit of privilege that I have to say, I'm right there with you, right? The race part is hard. It's the same piece. You don't feel that way. You're a very nice man. You are, and I don't want you to think that me asking you hard questions, that's what I do for a living, sir, okay? But like, you know, the thing about it is you're aligned with people who would make lies about immigrants. I'm the daughter of an immigrant. My father came to this country with nothing. He went to college and he lost his scholarship from Nigeria and drove a cab to make the money to stay in school. He worked 3-4 jobs, went and became an engineer, married a black woman who is a PhD. We live in West Virginia and I'm an attorney, and everybody in my family has served this state in some way, and we are richer for it. But you're aligned with people who call people like my dad and say that we eat dogs. Like, you make it seem like we're not human. They do. And it hurts. It hurts. And I think that is what a lot of people, from what I've talked to my friends, the ones that can articulate it, they're hurting because they feel as though they're hated. They feel as though they're not accepted in a country that many of them have been in the military. You know, they're married to people who are in the military. They have, you know, I've served the state of West Virginia for most of my 19 years as an attorney. You know, and that's the part. When we can talk about all this stuff, but the fact of the matter is, when the wave is and the language is, we don't like you coming in. We don't want you here. There's something wrong with you. And then you vote like that. That's your person. It makes me feel like that's how you feel too, whether you feel that way or not.
Hey, thanks for listening to this. We who've been working on the Us and Them project for the past decade believe that division and polarization in America is the issue of our times. We're here to wrap our arms and our minds around this challenge. In a splintered world, we believe that listening is one of the last bridges we have towards understanding.